live from New York City. I'm going to have to refer to notes for this one because all of my videos virtually I do on the fly, but this one I put some thought into it, and there's a few things we need to just make clear here with what I'm about to do. I'm going to basically blow the lid off an industry that's not all it's cracked up to be. So we're blowing the lid off things like Ponzi'S, pyramid schemes, network marketing, multi-level, all kinds of stuff. The reality is this: every business has negatives. Girl Guide Cookies has complaints about it. Every business has them. And some people are very quick to label. And so I'm just going to talk with here is to differentiate between certain things and what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and the cover-ups that we're not always privy to. So, there's people out there that I think all they do is every time there's a new business, be it a legal one or an illegal one, they want to attach the word scam to it, to everything. That's just the way they are. Nothing I can do about those people. So I'm not here to pitch a business, nothing like that. It's an information, a value-based webinar. So first of all, what's the difference? Well, Ponzi schemes are unsustainable. They often claim huge yields, huge returns, fast returns. That can happen if you're in first. That can happen. However, they are not sustainable and generally are illegal. A lot of them are offshore, and we'll discuss red flags and what to look for, what not to look for shortly. Pyramids. Listen, most people work in a pyramid scheme but not even aware of it. If you've got a boss who's got a boss who's got a boss who's got a boss, I've got news for you. You're in a corporate pyramid. If there's a CEO and a board of directors and vice presidents and senior management, middle management, junior management, and worker bees, that's what that is. But pyramid schemes per se, the main thing differentiates them is they sometimes will create something that has the perception of a product, but it's not really a product. It's there to pop it up. When something doesn't have an actual product, number one, and number two, if you can't make more than the person above you who got in before you, that is technically a pyramid scheme. So the first two are illegal: Ponzi's and pyramids. Next up, there's something else we want to talk about here, and again to differentiate. So the uninitiated and to the ignorant and to the cynical, as soon as they see something that looks like multi-level marketing or network marketing, they'll just like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. They haven't a clue what it is. Okay, so there are people like that. So I want to differentiate here. Something that's interesting stat I saw: 82% of women that earn over $100,000 a year are involved with a home-based business, and for the most part, it's some sort of networking business. That's just the stat. So it's important here to differentiate the difference between multi-level marketing and network marketing. As I said, I am using notes here. Multi-level marketing companies are often overly complicated by the people that set them up or the corporations that set them up. They claim to be paying out X percentage, up to whatever the figure is, 48%, 33%, 62%. The reality is that maximum payout rarely, or if ever, actually happens. It's structured in such a way that it's got to be in a certain balance, or they're restricted, or your levels, or your legs, or whatever. There's all these fancy titles they give them: force matrices, binary, blah blah. I don't even understand it. And I worked in one for 2 years and couldn't understand why, as one of the top recruiters in that particular business and possibly in the industry, as one of the top retailers in that business, why I wasn't making what I thought I was going to be making. And there's all kinds of little hurdles put in there. Restricted in depth, it only goes so many levels down, or in width, you can only put 2 people in, or 3 people, or 4 people. And a lot of the time, some of these businesses are operating by trial and error, so they're always, they're constantly changing the compensation plan. And when that happens, you get a huge amount of people dropping off. Either they don't understand the new plan, or they don't like it, or they find a negative in it and find a reason why they're not making any money. So the average person in this country, I always get an itchy nose when I do these things. Why is that? The average person in multi-level network marketing in this country earns $13 a week. $13 a week. That's the average. Now, there are people that make a lot of money out of it, and there's also a lot of people that make nothing out of it. And it is directly proportional to how well you know your stuff, the company you're in, the market you're in, how well you work at it. So, these are things that's life in general. Something else, they have things called balancing legs or qualification, when you're supposed to get a bonus or something, all of a sudden you found out you don't qualify. I was speaking with somebody about 3 weeks ago, and I asked him a question. Somebody told me that the personal sponsor has sponsored 1,500 people in a year, and I looked him up, and he's making 5 figures a month. So I messaged the guy and said, which one is it? Have you put 1,500 people in the business in the last year, or are you making 5 figures a month? And he said both. 1,500 people personally sponsored into a business. And it's a low-end business with a low demographic anyway. It's a $99 buy-in business. It's if it's $99 to get started in business, you're going to target a lower demographic. You're going to hear a lot of people complaining that they're broke and they're not making any money. So business like that I'd stay well away from personally, because it's just got such a high churn rate. People just pay the $99, don't do anything with it. You made a $99 commitment. How much effort are you going to put into that? Oh, try it once, it didn't work, never mind, it's $99. So in talking with him, I said, how on earth, you put an extraordinary high amount of people in business. Never heard of anything like this before. 1,500 people, and you're making about $15,000 a month. This doesn't add up for me. And then he starts telling me, well, it's about balancing legs, and he's got a power leg from a power leg from it. I'm just thinking, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? KISS, keep it simple, stupid. He's going on about this complicated, overly complicated thing that loses me altogether. And then he says, when are you joining? Well, I'm not. Why would I? You put 1,500 people in business, and you're making $15,000 a month. Why would anyone join a business like that? It just doesn't make any sense at all. 1,500 people in a year. So just think, my math isn't working right now. So you're about 125 people per month. So break that down into a weekly. So you're putting in business about 30 people per week, 7 days a week. So you're putting in about 4 people in business every day. Could you do that? Because I can't. I don't know how to put 4 people a day in business. I've done it once or twice, but consistently for a year, I don't know how to do it. So the other reality there is, if you put 1,500 people in business, you've got no business, because how the hell can you show 1,500 people how to run it, how to build a business? There's not the hours in the day. Okay, I'm being realistic here. If you're spending X amount of time per day putting 4 brand new people into business, when are you training them? When are you spending any time with them? When are you connecting with them? It didn't work. And then he goes to tell me, why I'm getting everything wrong. So, on to the next one. And this is the thing about balancing legs. And then qualifications. Then there's something called endless Autoships. The never, never. So a lot of these businesses, you've got to constantly run an auto ship for it every single month, and for some product, whatever the product is. And what they have is a sliding scale. So if you've got an auto ship for $100 a month of product, whatever the product is, doesn't matter, you might be getting 20% commission. If you double your auto ship to 200 or even 300 per month, which I heard in a lot of these businesses, you might be getting 40% commission or 30% commission, whatever it may be. So the more you spend, the more your commission is. But the average person in North America makes $13 per week in multi-level marketing. Payout 200, income 13 per week, 26.52. Okay, this is not adding up here, is it? I've spoken with some people recently, and I asked them about their business, and they said, well, it was good when it came to tax time, which meant they lost money at it. So also a lot of these things have large buy-ins, you know, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 buy-ins to get into business. And you know what, in certain businesses that's fine. People pay $100,000 for a Subway and get the chance to work for 70 or 80 hours a week behind the counter of their own Subway. I mean, I don't get it, but it's people want their own businesses, so there's a certain amount of that. Huge risk in things like that, though. Huge risk. So you know, there's no right or wrong in the buy-ins. However, if you've got a $5,000 buy-in, you're very restricted to how you can build your business. Because I might just say to you right now, okay, how many people do you know that want to make an extra 100,000 this year, 200,000 this year? Okay, but they might not have the spare $5,000, which we'll come to that in a second. Why it's booming at the moment. You also end up with the buying with a a garage full of unsold product. So you buy in, you get a whole load of products. You're expected to actually give a lot of that product away as samples. Okay, and I'm not naming specific industries here, but you know, some of them just send me boxes and boxes and boxes of samples, and I'm trying to get rid of them and give them to somebody else. But I'm not naming it. It creates huge churn rates. Then you find your own products on something like I don't know, Craigslist or eBay at a fraction of 10 cents on the dollar, and all of a sudden there's no substance, there's no value to it, and then you start doubting what's going on because it becomes very apparent that people are not sticking at it. So it's multi-level marketing is very restrictive, and it's usually the compensation plans look good, but they're designed not to pay out the maximum amount of money. They're designed to run through different legs, so they never balance. They're designed to operate in a certain way because the company makes money. So what's the difference between that and network marketing? Well, true network marketing is, and I'll use terms now, you can go as wide as you want. There's no restriction as to how many people you can host into business, how many people you can help into business, how many people you can get into business partnerships with. There's no restriction. And whereas multi-level marketing has restriction on depth, you get paid on 3 levels down, 4 levels, 9 levels, whatever it may be. True network marketing, there is no restriction on depth. It runs to infinity, so you can start as many people in business as you want, and they can build that business as much as you want, as long as they want, and your income goes to infinity. So that's the difference. I'm just trying to, yeah, I mean, it literally is like me going to a restaurant. If you follow my Facebook, you'll know I do this all the time. Me going to a restaurant, like the restaurant, someone asked me about it or where to eat, or I'm in New York, where should we go? Got it right now. My friend from, where does he live? Dallas, near Dallas. He's in town. Where we're going? We're going to meet at XYZ restaurant. Why? I like the restaurant. Everyone I've brought there has gone, wow, this place is amazing. So I just tell people there's nothing in it for me. But I tell people it's like a movie. You know, if someone asks what do you think of the movie, either good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it is, just an honest opinion. So that's all it is. However, the cynics out there will look too deep into it and create this monster in the head that these people must be doing something wrong because they get paid for helping others. Also, you know, a lot of the pyramid type things, the income is based on recruiting, solely on recruiting. Okay, so that's again something different. So that's where we're at now. It's a referral based scheme. So what red flags are there? What leaps up? things to stay away from. Any businesses that have got weekly or monthly cash contests, and some of these people have corporate employees involved in cash contests, and magically they win them. That's a bit odd. Okay. The car bonus thing, whether it's the BMW or the Mercedes or whatever, they're not giving you the car. Okay. What they're doing is saying, hey, you can lease this car. Well, that's great when you get in, whatever, $300-500 a month car bonus because everything's going rosy. If it slows down for any reason, you're still on the hook for that car lease. So they encourage the outward appearance of everyone doing well, and in the meantime, you're not, and you've got a car that you don't want, and you're paying for, and you don't need. So again, things like that. Be very careful of any company where there's corporate employees involved in certain things or building their own networks. There's a lot of emphasis from certain groups on pushing people to recruit, to put people into business rather than retailing product. So if you've got a product like supplements, cosmetics, or coffee, any of the popular ones, I was basically told, don't let anyone buy it, get them started in business for the first year, which is totally wrong. And with hindsight now, I look back on that and look at how many clients did I lose because they didn't want to get into the business. They wanted the products. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the products that are done through, whether it's multi-level or networking, are really quality products. Really quality. So I have lots of clients, or I had lots of clients, I'm out of business now. I had lots of clients that I would just put onto retail. Just put onto retail. And if they like the product, 3 months down the road, I said, listen, you're going to keep doing this. There's a way you can get it at a wholesale rate by joining the business. I'll just give you the option. And that's what I did, and that was frowned upon. And basically, I was literally forced out the last business by certain people. So the other thing to watch out for is things like nepotism. So a lot of these companies are based around groups. Now, the nepotism involves when there's families involved in companies, and they can choose, or they can switch sponsors, or they can make it rig so their sons and daughters are getting everything. So they're actually getting paid twice. So the nepotism I've seen involved in the industry is an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace in some cases. There's also, I'm finding out now about the supposed big hitters in the industry getting $1 million bonuses to join companies to give it credibility. So if you've got someone that's a known name in the industry joins a company, generally that guy will, get a huge chunk for joining. Also, he will bring a lot of person, or she will bring a lot of people to the business, and it gives it instant credibility. And these are all things I'm finding out after the fact. I'm also finding that some of the, and I've got to tread very carefully here, some of the people that are the ones that appear the most pious are often the most judgmental, and the ones that there's more infighting in with than anything else. So the evangelical fervor, some of these meetings rally up, unbelievable. I mean, I had to keep my mouth shut the first time I went to one of these things. Unbelievable. There's things where if someone gets creative or thinks outside the box, they're basically shut down. And make no mistake, you can build a business and just get it pulled from you right away. So there's certain things you have to do in terms of keeping it clean. And my issue at another place was this: I didn't fit in with their way of, the group's way of doing it, so I got forced out. Also, a lot of these people are not as selfless as they make out to be. A lot of these leaders I've worked with in the past, not now, but in the past, a lot of the leaders are not as selfless. They're looking after their own interests and the family's interests, but giving the outside appearance of respectability by hiding behind a veneer. In reality, it was anything like that. So again, these are red flags that come up. You know, my training was to spam and pitch friends. So what did I do? I lost contacts because of these, you know, people living 20 years in the past, train you to be the annoying guy in the room that everyone avoids. And it's not about that, okay? Networking in life is networking. It's going out, it's grabbing a coffee with someone. It's not talking about business, it's networking and connecting. Anything else comes after that. Well, that's networking. But the approach, or the old approach, was literally anyone you see. You know, I was trained by a guy who called it a 3-foot rule. Talk to anyone within 3 feet away about your business. You know what? I've never pissed as many people off in my life as fast. Okay, and then you get a reputation for someone to stay away from, or don't let him in your property, or don't let him anywhere near you. Bottom line is, most people in multi-level run at a loss, $13 a week. So just stay away from certain things that flag up. What to look for if you do want to get involved with a home-based business? What to look for? I generally do things totally by feel. If the person has a good feel to them, if they've got a good approach where they're not talking about business, they've got a sincere, selfless desire just to connect. I mean, I started in another business 2 months ago. The person who got me in the business, and I'm not naming names on here on purpose, the person who got me in the business had been speaking to me for 2 years and never even mentioned business. I had to ask him. So I saw some social media posts. I had to ask him to get in business with him. But we had that connection, and we networked and chatted about all kinds of stuff. Once every month or two, we'd chat. So what to look for? Transparent leadership. Transparent as far as, can the people behind it be checked out, or can your sponsor be checked out? Absolutely. If you come across any businesses and they don't, I mean, especially if it's a US-based business, I want to make sure I get this here, especially if it's US-based business, if they don't have an actual US address and a US landline phone number, don't walk away from it, run like hell. Okay? If you can't quite figure out who's behind it, get out of there. References, third-party references. So before anyone wants to get in business with me, I make sure I connect them with the person I work with. I'm not worried that he's going to steal someone off me. It doesn't work like that, okay? He's not that type of person, or I'm not that type of person. So I always connect with everyone else, and it's more to help them out. So references, financial proof. And what I mean by financial proof, these idiots, these morons that post pictures of money all over the place, or cars. Hey, you know, I can go on Google Images now and get the same pictures and post them. If I knew how to work Photoshop, I don't. I'm sure I could Photoshop myself, I don't know, water skiing behind a yacht. Okay? So that is not, you know, it becomes fake. I get sent a lot of videos, you know, by people who have no clue what they're doing. Oh, hi Tony, I saw your Facebook, or I saw your videos, that's really good. Can you look at my link? You know what? No attempt to connect, no attempt to talk. Can you look at my link? And for the few times I did do it, I don't do it anymore. It's just because it's just, if that's your approach, and you know what, your link's I'm not going to need to see your link. So I look at them, and usually within 30 seconds I've made my mind up. It might be a 5-minute video, it might be a 15, it might be, usually within 30 seconds. If I'm still watching after 2 minutes, I'll probably watch it all. However, the ones that start, someone sent me this the other week, it started with some glamorous girl draped over a Bentley. That was the opening scene. I looked at it and turned it off. Okay? I am not sending that out to any of my friends. It looks like total BS. So when these people, and they always say the same thing, you know, did you watch the video I sent you? Well, you know, I watched 2 minutes, not for me. Thanks anyway. What do you mean 2 minutes? You can't see anything from 2 minutes. No, you know what, it didn't feel right, it's not for me, thanks anyway. And then they start going off on tirades, calling me an idiot, and how can you make a life-changing decision based on 2 minutes? Well, you know what, I did, okay? And their approach is all totally wrong. So the other thing worth bearing in mind is any home-based business, or any business at all for that matter you're looking at, does it fit the current economic market? So if you're selling high-end products, and by high-end, a lot of the, I mentioned before, a lot of the cosmetic type stuff, a lot of the supplement type stuff is high-end products. They're great. A lot of them are great products, but does it fit the economy? So my take on it is, and this is hearing from other people. I've never been in the cosmetic thing, but I know there's a lot. I've got a lot of good friends that are. They send the samples out, and people, because they've asked me for references. Do you know anyone that will use skin cream or whatever? And I've said, well, connect with this person or connect with. I'm happy to help. I don't care. And when they've sent the products out, the feedback I get is the products are great, but it's right now I can't afford X amount a month. And this is not just cosmetics. This is across the board. When money gets tight, those are the first things that get cut. When the economy is shaky, those are the first things that get cut. If that's your business and it's costing you $300 a month or $200 a month to stay in it, and you're not making money and you're losing money, and your job becomes unsustainable, your day job, that's the first thing that gets cut. And these are just the facts. So it's got to fit the current economic market. Right now, 80% of North Americans, and I know this is going to go global, but it's pretty much the same. It's not a lot different in the Western world, slight variations. 80% of North Americans are facing job uncertainty. Why? Well, technology is changing everything so fast that we don't know what's around the corner. People coming out of school and in certain industries, whether it's creative or IT or things like that, are not necessarily smarter, but faster and more up to date with what's coming and more adaptable to change. So consequently, you've got a guy that's 50 years old, who's been in a job and it pays him $150,000 a year or whatever. All of a sudden, he's looking over his shoulder at some kid that's coming out of college that's going to be a third of the price. So that's what I'm talking about with job uncertainty. And tech changes so fast that it changes the rules of the game, literally day by day by day. Then you can look at trends and things that, cupcakes. The big cupcake company in New York just shut like that. Why? I don't know. There's more cupcake companies popping up. I don't know. Or the trend had just shifted. So that happens. Economic uncertainty. I'm not an economist at all. I have no idea. But what I will say is, personally, I've been an entrepreneur pretty much all my life. The times I've done the best are in bad economic times. I refuse to subscribe to the theory that there's a recession or a depression or whatever it is. Okay, the outside reality of whatever's going on in the economy has nothing to do with my personal economy. Okay, if I place myself in the right place at the right time with the right economy, boom. Because there's two things with this. Make sure your business you may be looking at, your business you're in, is right for the economic times. So when did I make the most money in business? In the recession in Canada, early 90s. Discounted long rate calls. It made sense. Okay, recession, discounted calls. But the main thing is when the job market is uncertain and layoffs are coming, there's not much work and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? People have to get out of the comfort zones and go find something else to do. So those are the best times to build businesses. More millionaires were created in the Great Depression in the late 1920s than any other time in history. It's a mindset. So position yourself for the economy. If the economy is rocky, and I'm going to use that term right now, it seems the economy is uncertain. No one quite seems to know what's going on. Just no one seems to know what's going on with it. Apparently, I mean, it doesn't affect me personally, but if the economy is uncertain, whether that's in your own mind or in the mass media, which I generally tell people to avoid anyway, position yourself in something that it is right for the time. So you're going to get in a business, you're going to get in it for life or right for the time. Well, only you can decide that one. If you're making, 6-7 figures a year and you're having fun, probably stick at it. That'd be my view. If you're not making any money at it and it's not fitting the market and you can't build it, get out of it. Okay? No point banging your head against the wall and everyone is making it look so happy, and the reality is $13 a week. But from the outside, rah, 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 let's have a meeting, rah, 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 rah. Okay? That's the situation as it is. Next thing, okay, does it fit the current inventory? Sorry, the current economic climate. Does it fit the current job uncertainty? Will I need inventory? Will I have to buy stuff to give away? Personally, I stopped doing that. I give thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff away. I paid my own postage, FedExes, and yeah, I got some returns from it, but when I look back after 2 years, I lost money on that. Okay, so no, I do not get involved in businesses that need inventory. Okay, does it have a global presence? Well, if something has a physical inventory, it's it's not always possible to open a market for that product in a different country. If you've got something that needs FDA approval, I don't know, and it takes forever to get in the States, you're going to be limited to wherever you are. Shipping, importation duty. So I work in businesses now that are pretty much global. They're not in every country in the world, but I don't want to be doing business in every country in the world. I want to be doing business in stable places. So I don't get involved with something that needs an actual physical inventory that needs shipped. I mean, what's the choice now? Online. It only makes sense now to get in a business that's online, to me. Unless you have an absolute passion for a certain thing. Unless if you're a doctor, or if you have a gym, or if your passion is cosmetics and you're I don't know if the term is makeup artist, do they still use that term? That is probably a great fit for you. Okay, just be careful economically that it fits, but that's probably a great fit for you. If you're working as a trainer in a gym, yeah, that's probably a great fit for you. Okay, just think about that. Is it your passion? Is it something you're passionate about? So does it have a global presence? Does it have a social media presence, meaning you can actually watch from the sidelines? So a lot of these businesses have social media presence that are locked down or in secret mode. I understand that to a degree in terms of people are in the business. They don't want it hijacking from people who are not in the business. So people can come in and start creating who knows what and planting seeds of doubt and who knows what. So people like that, you just got to get them out of the way. But does it have a visual social media presence? Can it be seen? Are people not afraid to show it? So that's a brief wrap up on the Ponzi's. Are the high yield things are often offshore. It just you'll see them, you'll feel them straight away. So when someone says, if something looks too good to be true, my answer is explore it more. But if their initial approach is high yield, fast return, and they're based on an island somewhere not far from the States, a huge, huge red flag that it's likely a Ponzi scheme and it will collapse. If your moral compass is off and you don't mind getting involved in things like that early, well, that's up to you. Personally, no, won't go anywhere near it. Pyramids are dressed up as legal, and they can just get pulled straight away. And I've seen it, and I've actually been worked with something where it happened, and no notice at all. All of a sudden, you can't do any business, and then they go through an investigation, try and get the name cleared, but that's raised a flag somewhere. And there's watch groups that look at these things. So if it's masquerading as something it actually isn't, if you can't make more than the person above you that got in first, if there appears to be a product but it's not really a product, likelihood, also the emphasis is all on recruiting, likelihood it's a pyramid. Multi-levels are, if it's a a compensation scheme that you can't quite figure up, and it's doctored with fancy words, binary, force matrix. What are the other ones? I did have some notes on these things. Balancing legs, qualifications, or you've basically got to buy into it forever. It's a multi-level business, and you can make money at it. Absolutely. I mean, you can make money at pyramids if there's something wrong with you. You can make money in it. If you're ruthless, you can make money in it. You can make money at multi-level, but the average person in multi-level marketing, the average person makes $13 a week. So you might look at yourself and say, I'm above average. But if you've never done it before, it's going to take a while to figure out. I've got news for you with these balancing legs and trying to explain this compensation scheme to people. 2 years into a business, I still couldn't figure it. We've got 11 ways to pay. Why? Just pay one way. Pay one way. So traditional networks, you can build them as big as you want, as deep as you want, no restriction, no balancing, no spinning plates in the air. And some of them, I don't know many, but some of them have an end. So the one I work with at the moment, and I'm not naming names here, it literally is buying your business. So down payment, 23 months, you own it outright, you can will it to your kids, whatever, that's it, you're done. Okay, that suits me, rather than buying it $300 of inventory every month that I'm not going through, so I'm giving it away. I'll keep looking there, I've got a load of it on the shelf still, that I'm giving away because I have to keep buying it to keep my income coming in, and all of a sudden it slows down, so my income's not even matching what I'm buying, but I have to keep buying it to keep my income coming in case someone else starts with me, because there's a whole bunch of people, and you're going to get, if you get in these businesses, you're going to get a whole bunch of people that when they see something new, they want to get in business with you, and blah, 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 blah. So this is just one final thing, and it's time leeches. The same people who are watching my last 2 and 3 businesses that we're going to start tomorrow are doing the same thing now. I don't spend any time with them anymore, okay? It's not to be rude. They're a time leech. They just call me, every other day with another question. I'm getting around to it. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for Venus and Mars to align. And when it's the second moon of Jupiter and Star Trek's on a Friday night, and then it's the perfect time for me to get in business. Okay, you know what? We're still friends. Don't talk to me about business. Okay? Then you get people who will literally just jump straight in business with you, mainly because they like you. So if people like you, they will find a reason to get in business with you. If they don't like you, they just won't. It has nothing to do with the business. Nothing. Nothing to do with the price, the product, the service, nothing. They'll just get in business with you because they want to work with you. So it's not rocket science, this stuff, okay? Be likable, okay? That doesn't mean brown-nose people. Just be yourself. Be likable, be a decent human being, do the right thing, be selfless, and guess what? And you can call it the universe aligning or whatever you want to word, they label it, but good shit happens to you, okay? Do the right thing, and good shit happens, okay? It's simple. You're also going to get people looking at your business who will look at it and look at it and look at it and look at it, and they will join when they're ready. And they're fine. So my simple approach now is, I tell people, listen, you know what, if you're asking, you've got to pull, it's like pulling teeth trying to get information about my business out of me, because I generally avoid talking about it. But I've got such a visual presence now on social media that there's little clues that I don't actually work in a job. Actually, there's huge clues that I don't work in a job, because I probably do I don't know, 5-10 check-ins a day in restaurants and coffee shops and parks, and just that's social media. Social media is a popularity contest, okay? Then learning how to monetize it correctly is a different thing altogether. So I have such a presence on there that people will inbox me all the time, every day. The phone keeps ringing. Where are we up to now with the phone? Let's have a look here. Hang on a second. Let me see how many messages we're going. So 19 messages. 85 missed 85 missed calls. I'm going to show you that. This is funny. 85 missed calls. Okay. I will be honest with you. Some of those were on there before I jumped on here. I get back to people when I get back to them. If I'm on here with you, I'm not going to stop and take a call. Forget the fact that I've got almost 4,000 unanswered emails. So you can guess who doesn't answer his emails. 19 Facebook messages. Sorry, I had 4 Facebook messages in there. I've just opened that up. 19 Facebook comments. 14 Viber. So if you don't know what Viber is, you've got an international business. It's an app that allows you to call people around the world free, like a WhatsApp type thing or something like that. So 14 international ones, 18 Twitter comments, Twitter things, whatever you call them, tweets, tweets, 9 Skypes, and whatever else is going on there. So this is what happens when you do the right thing. Your phone rings off the hook. You won't have to be chasing people down. It's about connecting. It's about doing the right thing. It's connecting. It's talking with people about them. Find out where they're at in their lives. Where they could be in a peak, and that's great. Or they could actually need your help. Or they may be able to help you. So when we talk about them, we talk with them sincerely and selflessly about them. Okay. Something is going to open right up. Something is going to open right up. And I find the best formula for this is creating endorphins. So what do I mean by creating endorphins? If you've got the skill set to be able to make people laugh within 30 seconds, okay? So what do I mean by that? Well, might not be telling them a joke. That's not what I do. Okay, become a great storyteller. It's a skill set. It's not a talent. It's a skill set. Where some people are great book writers, terrible speakers. I'm not naming them. Some people are just great storytellers. So the ones that leap to mind, straight off the bat, Zig Ziglar, all-time great. Tony Robbins, whether you like him or not. Whether you like him or not, I love the guy. Whether you like him or not, is a fantastic storyteller. So when you got a storyteller and your story is funny, if you've got a funny story to tell, and mine are generally all real life situations. So I will get into it with people, and sometimes I just cannot control myself, and some of the stuff is crying with laughter. But then the endorphins and the feel good comes. The feel-good comes with the laughter. And guess what happens then? It creates a laughter channel. I'm not using the term matrix, that's something we were talking about before. But it creates a channel. It opens up. So if you've ever met someone in your life, and you just instantly like them, it's that same feel. It manifests that the pair of you are aligned, and all of a sudden, the person you're speaking with will just start opening up. So, I'm talking away with someone and we're laughing and joking, and I'll just innocently say, so what's new in your life? And at that point, the endorphins are flowing, all kinds of stuff comes out. In reality, some of it is very personal, okay? And I don't even think they should be telling me some of this stuff. However, that's the state of being people will get in with you when you can get those endorphins flowing. So, be a decent human being. Do the right thing. Make your social media presence visual. I don't mean post once a day. If you look at mine, okay, people stop me on the street and say, Tony, you're all over Facebook. Facebook's blowing up. Yeah, I know. That's where my income comes from. Why wouldn't I make it blow up? Okay. And mix up the content. If you go in the social media route, definitely, but don't make it like a billboard, guys. And I see these things with, I've started my new business and buy this XYZ whatever it may be. I stopped looking totally. So make it interesting. Human nature stuff, funny stuff, controversial stuff to a degree. Okay? Make it so people are watching it. Do this, make videos. Go onto Google Hangout, make videos, set yourself up a YouTube account. I have a blast making videos. I'll just do random ones walking around the street. So it's all about building a presence out there. Make it so it's all coming to you. So when someone comes to me and asks me about certain things, about business, tell me all about the business you're in, I don't tell them about the business I'm in. I talk to them about them. Okay. But I want to know about the business. Well, it might not be a fit for you. What's going on in your life? Just change it completely and talk with them about them sincerely. So from there, I don't know if there's a fit. I don't know if they're right. I don't know if I'm right for them. I don't know. So I get talking, find out where they want. And generally what I'm finding is the people who are jumping into business with me all the time, the people who are messaging me all the time, the people who are calling me, leaders from all over the world calling me, and the phone's blowing up all the time, are either in a transition period, so their job may be feeling a bit uncertainty, or they may have got divorced, or they may have moved, or they're in a transition, or the business they were with is not doing so well, or it could be anything. All of a sudden they've become empty nesters and got time on their hands. They've stopped smoking and want to fill out an hour or two a day by doing something else. Could be anything at all. So they're in transition, or they're at breaking point. What do I mean by that? They're at a point of almost desperation, where they just want out of the situation. It could be that they hate their job. It could be that they're not happy in their relationships. It could be they're not happy where they live. It could be any one of 1,000 things. And those are the two people, the two types that call the phone all the time. And those are also the two types that me as an individual can help. If you're at breaking point, I'm going to work with you and ensure it works. If you're at transition, I'm going to work with you and ensure it works. Just follow the program. Connect with people, because they're going to be connected to different people that I'm connected to. They may be, well, the chances are, in fact, certainly, they're going to be completely different to me. Okay. So, when you learn how to connect with people, learn the skill set to make people laugh, business just flows in. It just comes in. And then at that point, I'll actually tell them, in my particular thing, I don't really do anything. I either get them ask them to get on a hangout like this, or send them a video, or connect them to other people I work with. But I tell them before I do all this, I'm not going to drive you mad with this. If you've got something that you believe is right, and it's right for the economy, and it's right for the job market, you won't have to chase people down. So I tell people, watch this or get on this hangout, and I'll follow up with you, but I'm not going to be messaging you every single day saying, have you made your mind up yet? Have you made your mind up yet? It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter, okay? It only affects their life, not mine. We were talking before about some guy put 1,500 people into a business in a year. I bet he made some follow-up calls to do that. Just had to do. But you're harassing them into a business. So he put 1,500 people in business, and he makes $15,000 a month. It's insane. I was making double that 20 years ago. Actually, no. I was making double that a week 20 years ago. I should say that again. I was making almost $30,000 a week 20 years ago. And this guy's bragging to me that he's done this 1,500. I'm just like, can't believe it. How can they get possibly shown how to build a business? You can't connect with 1,500 people and show them how to build a business. It doesn't work like that. Life isn't like that. So, I work with a business now. Small team of 88 people pays you 6 figures a year. And 6 figures a year is a block for some people. So we'll use that as a starting point, 6 figures a year. And I look to get people in profit within days. That's what I did. I look to get them in 4 figures a month in the first month. Why? That's what I did. So that's, You know, that's what I just show people how to do what I did. 88, a team of 88 people. In my last business, I put about that many in myself personally without the team. Okay, so it's not a hard thing. The final thing I want to talk about just very briefly, these are not get-rich-quick schemes. Those that are generally Ponzi's, hence the word scheme on the end of it. Okay, that you're building a business over a couple of years. So when we're doing things and it's not working for us, get help. There's someone there to help you. There'll be someone in that business that you can connect with, that you're aligned with, that can help you. If one person's doing it and it's working, it works. If 10 people are doing it and it's working for 10, it works even better. If 1,000 people are doing it and it's working for all of them, it's a no-brainer. Okay. And even though people have slightly different ways, some people are more social media centric, some people are, certain businesses, coffee mornings or get-togethers or hangouts, or you know, there's different ways to do it, or one-on-ones in coffee shops or whatever. For me, I make people one-on-one. I get them on Facebook straight away, and they can see and they can watch, and usually within a week, 2 weeks, they start, you know, I'll see them again, or they'll just call me, because I always get people's phone numbers when I meet them, always. They'll call me and just say, what is it you do? You look like you don't have a job, you live in one of the most expensive places on earth, and all you seem to do is hang out in bars and coffee shops in Central Park and go for walks, and what do you do? What I do? I charge that 3 times a day is what I do. Nothing wrong with the phone, it's just always coming in, and I work off that, so I can be in a coffee shop or a bar or a restaurant or Central Park or on a ferry or walking Brooklyn Bridge. As long as the phone's charged and I got my phone charger in my pocket, that's what I do. So that's what I've got, guys, and I hope that was some help to, there's a bunch of you on here live, which I really appreciate, and I know this will get shared, and I know it will get replayed. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, who is this guy? All right, just type Tony Cohen in Facebook. I'm usually always on the top. I don't really use Twitter, but I'm on there somehow. I don't know what it is. So it's all connected up. However, there's no copyright on these videos. Share it, get it out there, do what you will with it. I don't care. From the real Tony Cohen right here in New York City. Have a wonderful one, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. If I can turn this off. Bye.